share my favorite double tonguing tips along with a few exercises you can try right now, so go get your flute. Anytime I practice double tonguing, I always take it back to the basic levels, and I think of it in all of the different layers that are needed. So the first, of course, is air. Support is really very important with double tonguing. The tongue gets in the way of the airstream and slows the speed of the air down. So it can tend to sound very choppy, it can tend to lose resonance, and that's not what we want. We want to have a really beautiful sound when we double tongue. A really simple way to think about support is to just make the sound. If you just blow through your teeth and then you really turn up the hose and speed up the air. Instead of forcing this to happen, this is a good exercise to show you what does happen when you just naturally start to increase your airspeed. And this is another way that I practice double tonguing. You can start to put syllables to this. It's very helpful to hear the way that your air moves, and you can hear the speed, and you can also hear if you're supporting once your double tongue starts. Since we're not going to play with our teeth that closed, and we can start moving towards more of a flute embouchure and start putting more space in the mouth. Focus on keeping the support that you have when you do it through your teeth and you can hear it happening. That will really help as you give more space in the mouth. You'll notice that it sounds much more quiet because we aren't amplifying the sound with our teeth. So we want to really focus on keeping the amount of air speed going. The next step is breath accents. Having really great double tonguing comes from having really great single tonguing, and breath accents are a great way to make sure that you have a beautifully supported and resonant sound on your single tongue attacks. And you can use this to start helping with your double tonguing second syllable or the back of the tongue syllables. You might notice a similar feeling in the body to the initial whoosh of air exercise as when you say ha, ha, ha. If it sounds fuzzy or messy, that's okay. You can try thinking about more space in the mouth, and that might help. It might help to get your tongue out of the way as well. Next, we can start adding a ta or a da syllable in between. I'm gonna do 4 ha, ha, ha's, and then ta, ta, ta's, then 4 more ha, ha, ha's, and then 4 da, da, da's. You want your breath accent to be the main effort in getting your short, bright note to come out, and then just enough tongue so that it sounds a bit more defined. So next we can try this with our back of the tongue syllable, which would be a g sound or a k sound. I recommend doing both in this exercise so you can listen to the difference and you can really feel the difference between the two syllables. The back of the tongue syllables are the most tricky because the whole back of the tongue is interrupting the airstream. There's more surface area in the back of the mouth, and it's not hitting at a very precise location like we're used to with the tip of the tongue. So spend your time experimenting. In terms of choosing syllables for double tonguing, I find it very helpful to work with both tucka tucka and dugga dugga when you're working on this, because you'll find instances where one is more appropriate than the other, and then you have more options for the way that you're defining your notes in the way that you want to sound. For me, naturally saying doogu 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 gives me more space in the mouth, and I can feel that I have more resonance, whereas instead of saying tucka tucka, we would want to say tuku tuku tuku. I find it harder to last a longer time, but the notes tend to be more staccato. be in the right position to get your airstream moving. And if you think doo-goo, 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 you might actually start closing too much. So you might also want to try thinking da, da, da. Especially if you're prone to cracking or you're trying this with the low notes and having a hard time, thinking of ah, ah, ah as your syllable of da, ga, da, ga, da, ga, da, ga, da can help you get the right shape in your mouth. Here's the difference between doo-goo, doo-goo, doo-goo with the mouth too closed and with the jaw closing, and with da, ga, da, ga, da, ga, trying to keep more openness. So still going slow and thinking about our breath accents, we can start saying ta 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 ka 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 ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta, all on one note. Next, we're going to try this in smaller chunks but faster. Ta ka ta ka ta, ta ka ta ka ta. Now we're going to add some more repetitions. Now that we've worked ourselves up from air to syllables to single notes and to playing long lines of just single notes, we can start to add this into a chromatic scale. Now let's try it without holding that first note and without the pause in between. Let's try it with fewer repetitions, 2 on each note. My best advice if you have to coordinate your tongue and your fingers when you're double tonguing, or even when you're single tonguing, is by saying the syllable while moving your fingers. So in this famous Bach Allegro example, after I do that, it feels way easier to play that. Even when you don't hold the first note like we did in the exercises, remember that the first note is sort of your jumping off point. So you want to give it lots of openness and really push on it and then keep what you're getting. So if I were to hold this, then try getting that first note shorter. You have to consciously make the notes that follow just as resonant as the first note. Making a tenuto on the first note of a run like this can be expressive, but it actually works to your advantage, getting things all set up in the right way. So I have the metronome set to 74. We're going to play 1 octave at a time, but ultimately do 2 octaves, first slurring, and then double tonguing with 2 repetitions, all the way up and then all the way down. Let's start on F major. Tons of great airspeed and lots of space on the slurred notes. Enjoy every single note all the way up, and then keep all that good stuff when you double tongue, all the way up and down. Now let's try B flat. love to do that gives me effortless airspeed that I shared in my top technique tips video is using Taffnell and Gilbert exercise number 1, singing and playing, then slurring, and then double tonguing. I hope that helps. Please leave a comment below and give this a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.